Thanks so much for joining me, Kate, on a Sunday afternoon. And
it's my pleasure. Thank you.
A couple of months for you. Tell us a bit about what's going on with Bonnie and Wild.
Yeah, why don't I tell you a little bit about us to start with, if that's a good idea. So obviously we're due to open at the end of June, and we're opening within the St James's Quarter. And I think everybody in Edinburgh is so excited about this opening. We've been watching it build from like the ground up. So there's loads of buzz around that, which is so exciting to be part of, which is great. So we're a Scottish marketplace, Edinburgh's first food hall as such. And what we've done is like collaborate with some really great entrepreneurial restaurateurs and some retail offerings to basically bring together the best of Scotland's food and drink in one place, in one marketplace.
It must have been quite hard to actually choose, because Scotland's become a bit of a culinary hotspot, particularly in recent years. So you must have had people bashing your door down, wanting to be part of it all. So it's quite difficult to choose.
Yeah, no, also when it's just because, so obviously people are starting to maybe look at our Instagram, and obviously we've got a website up and running now as well. And quite a lot of people have actually been emailing us and being like, oh, have you got space still? So, which is really exciting. So, I think there is so much to offer. So, we've had to we've been very lucky to be able to pick. So,
tell us a little bit about some of the offerings that are going to be on board.
Yeah, so what we have is 4 retail units. We have a butcher, a fishmonger, a coffee and patisserie. Then Inverty Morton is heading up our bottle shop. We have 4 bars. So the front of house team will be running the bars, and like our front of house team will be running that. And then we have 8 concession restaurants. Some of which haven't been so top secret for a couple of them. Still very exciting. That'll be the next couple of weeks. Yeah, build the suspense a little bit. Yeah. So we have Gary McLean, who's Scotland's national chef, as you probably know, and he was on MasterChef too. So he is actually his first solo venture, which is really exciting. So that's cool. I was really lucky to be able to meet him the other day, and we actually went on site together, which was brilliant because we managed to be able to have a good chat about how we want everything to work and the concept, which was great. And then we have an ice cream offering, Joe Gelato. It's his first venture into sort of retail as well. We've got the Ghana, who are coming through from Glasgow. And then Eppingham House, who are our vegan offering. And I think everybody's really excited. We got a really good response on social media. And they were nice as well.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So you can basically stay there all day and just eat and drink your way through the food hall.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're very welcome to.
I absolutely will be. But yeah, as we're saying, Scotland has become a bit of a home for food and drink. People travel from all over the world to come here to sample some of the offerings. There's so much good local produce out there. And is that something that you are really passionate about?
Yeah, well, I'm Edinburgh born and based. So it has been a really big part of my life. There's some great restaurants, like you were saying, in Edinburgh, I love to go to, or will love to be able to go to again after this last year of not being able to do very much. So yeah, definitely it's something that I've got a real passion for. So being part of this project has been such a great opportunity. So really excited to be part of it.
Where are some of your favorite places to go then in Edinburgh?
Oh, in Edinburgh, probably anywhere at the moment, because no, just joking.
Just going out, it's an absolute novelty.
I know. So obviously someone like the Little Chartrum has such a great reputation in Edinburgh. Roberta has done so well on the Great British Menu. It's so exciting to be able to see her be part of it. And her restaurant's so lovely. It is really great. Really excited to be able to go back there. However, I'm sure she is booked out for quite some time at the moment. But I think like if you want something a little bit more intimate, a bit quieter, Pickles is great on Broughton Street. Got a great offering of wine, but they do some great Scottish cheese like platters and meat boards, which is brilliant. I love a Dishoom breakfast.
Oh, me too. But they were great during lockdown as well, because they could get it delivered. I did that a few times. It was such a treat.
I know, you can still get your Dishoom fix. So
I can't wait to go back to the proper restaurant.
I know.
Amazing cocktails as well.
Exactly. No. I went out for a few drinks with friends the other night, but it was that really, really wet night, and we were all sitting having a drink, the rain pouring into our drinks as well.
What us Scots do for a drink, don't we?
what we
And do you like
actually.
to sort of travel a little bit further afield within Scotland to go and sample some of the local produce in other parts of the country too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably something we'll all be doing a little bit more of this year, definitely. I'd love to. I was actually had a trip to like the West Coast and Skye planned last year, but it got cancelled because of COVID. So I'm really hoping that I'll be able to do that next year or this year instead. Get some a little bit of maybe pop up to Three Chimneys, something like that, which is a lovely restaurant up there, which I'd love to go to, and I've never been able to until before. So, yeah, I'd definitely staycation is the way forward this year.
Buzzword this year, isn't it? So, where else is sort of on your bucket list within Scotland to go and eat and drink at?
Oh, else to eat and drink. Oh, all over really. I just think I would really like to go maybe up the coast a little bit and get a bit more knowledge about fish and Scottish fish, like actual fresh fish, and a little bit more knowledge about that. I think particularly being involved with Bonnie and Wild as well, I'd really like to broaden my knowledge of Scottish food and drink as much as possible. Have to say as well, as much as eating, I love drinking Scottish produce too. So, gin, I love gin. So Scotland's got some fantastic new gins on the market at the moment. So pretty excited. Maybe I could maybe visit a few distilleries.
What's your favourite Scottish gin? I like all of them really I've tried so far, but I'm really bad for picking things just because I like the bottles.
Yeah,
so,
well,
like, Edinburgh gin is stunning, and Edenville, you know, the kind of ones that always attract me, but maybe you know some others that I don't know.
You've actually hit the nail on the head there, because the reason I was initially attracted to this gin is the Electric Spirit Company are based in Leith, but they've got that vibrant, bright, orangey pink bottle. Yes. And I remember like picking it out in a bar one day and being like, yeah, that one. But it's absolutely delicious. And I have to admit, I think I'm on my like maybe third bottle. Like this.
Well, why not? And then the Isle of Harris one is like gold dust, trying to get your hands on one of them.
Absolutely, we're actually going to be stocking that in.
There you go. Another reason to visit. And then you turn it into like a light shade afterwards. That's what Kay did with hers.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing, yeah.
So what would kind of be your dream day out of eating and drinking? Where would you go? What would you do? Yeah, or it doesn't have to be in Edinburgh. It could be anywhere.
Why don't we go Edinburgh at the moment, because it's a bit difficult. So we go further afield. Well, I think, like I already said, I'd probably start in Dishoom, have a nice breakfast to start with. I don't know where. Then I'd probably have to go somewhere nice. Maybe actually go for a nice walk. Edinburgh's got some great walks, and obviously I really explored Old Town a lot because it's been much quieter, much easier to get around. I've actually been going to a new coffee shop who opened during lockdown, who have done really, really well. You might have heard of, called Room and Rumours. It's down at the Arches, just at the back of the station, and they do these fantastic donuts. And they, I think, made the news actually recently because they had a queue on a Saturday for an hour and a half to get a donut.
Oh my God! Did you get one?
Yeah, no, I went on a Monday. I was like, I'm furloughed. So
you're really on trend just now. Everybody's kind of wanting donuts just now.
Yeah,
donuts
absolutely.
They're the things.
Yeah, no, it's good, and their coffee's amazing as well. And they rotate their actual coffee beans as well, and where they get their coffee from. But yeah, it's great, and they've done so well. I'm so pleased to see our business open during lockdown and have such success as well, which is really really good. And I think probably if I was going to go somewhere for dinner in Edinburgh. I'm actually delighted that East Pizzas are going to be part of Bonnie and Wild.
Amazing! I've never tried them before.
Yes, so again, I've used it in lockdown. Their actual restaurant's about 3 minutes walk from my house, so it's partial to an East Pizza on a Friday night, and they use so many. Their produce is all local and all Scottish, which is absolutely brilliant. And they do a sort of monthly special too, which is great and very seasonal, which I like trying as well. But obviously, we would have to go to somewhere like Heads and Tails Gin Bar to get a couple of good gins in at some point.
Absolutely,
because that would definitely be one of my favorite. One of my favourite bars in Edinburgh. It's just really nice. I've actually done a little. They do a gin experience as well, and a little tour, which is really good. It's quite intimate because it's quite a small bar as well, which is great.
Because you get to do lots of good sampling whenever you were doing your research for Bonnie and Wild. Did you get to sample lots of good treats?
Obviously, COVID has actually made that a wee bit harder, but yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah.
And that's something we really want to do in Bonnie and Wild as well. We really want our suppliers to be able to do some sampling events, or we actually have an event space too. So we'd really love to do some brand activations with our suppliers as well. And we've got a demo kitchen, so again, chefs can come along to pair that up, maybe pair some drinks up. So yeah, absolutely.
You're very busy though, but you must have some time at home to sort of cook for yourself whenever you can. What sort of things do you like to make for yourself at home?
So now, to start with, I'm no chef.
Just like to get other people to do that for you. I'm the same.
Yes, absolutely. Like I have dabbled in chefing slightly in the past, but no chef. But actually, recently I made bao buns from scratch.
Wow.
And then some sticky pork to go inside them, which were absolutely amazing. But it took a wee while. But I would really like to experiment with a few other different fillings for them. So I think I'll definitely be making them again. And in lockdown, I've definitely been doing a lot of home baking. I know that's a real
banana bread and sourdough starter.
Gosh, yeah, absolutely. I had a bit of a deal with one of my colleagues I worked with previously, and she made sourdough every single week, and I baked for her, and we just did a swap, which was great.
Yeah, I love bao buns, and anything kind of Asian fusion always really appeals to us lot at Real Tree. Is that something that we can maybe expect at Bonnie and Wild?
My lips are sealed at the moment, but
yes, I know. Well, we look forward to it. But obviously, you are such a busy woman, and there's so much going on. But what do you kind of like to do to switch off? Our newsletter is often about film, TV, podcast recommendations. Is there anything that you've seen or watched recently that you could recommend to us?
Well, I would say that I've had plenty of. I've been furloughed quite a bit this year already, so I've had plenty of time to get. Develop a very close relationship with Netflix.
Oh, have we all?
But yeah, so I've watched quite a lot of TV. I have to say, completely off topic of food and drink, I love Grey's Anatomy. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, that's my favourite.
But I think I've got so into it that I have to actually stop myself watching it all the time because I get so involved I can't stop. So I have to.
They're my friends. I'm like, am I on season 18 or something? I'm like, I've grown up with these people.
It's like they're part of my life.
Yeah, it's so sad, isn't it? My husband once came in and it was the episode where Derek dies, and he thought that one of my family members had died from my reaction.
Yes, devastating. So devastating. Yeah, so definitely. I've been watching a lot of Netflix. Actually, been listening to Off Menu, which is a podcast you might have heard of with Lancaster and Ed Gamble. It's so funny. It's actually such a good concept because they have and also worked so well during COVID as well or lockdown because it's a dream restaurant and what you would have and some. It's actually hilarious. I really, really enjoyed that actually.
I know anything chatting about food. We love Table Manners at this newsletter as well with Jessie Ware and her mum. They just chat about food and have people around for dinner. And I'm like, what more would you want?
I know, it sounds great.
Something in common if you're just talking about food, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so exciting that we'll hopefully be able to actually have people around for dinner soon and be able to go out and enjoy dinner again. So yeah, it's not quite the same when you can't have a cocktail with it.
Well, I know. Hopefully, though, by the time you open end of June, things will change. What can we expect in those kind of opening few weeks?
Well, obviously, we will have to adapt according to COVID guidelines, but we've got some good ideas up our sleeve to make sure that we really are, it's really the customer experience that we were hoping to provide in the first place, and really to have the original concept as close to original concept as we intended to open. I think obviously we'll try to do a few launch parties of some description of how it will have to be a bit regulated, unfortunately. But we actually have an event space as well. It actually looks over St James's Quarter event space as well, one of their outdoor areas, which is I think is one of the biggest in Edinburgh actually. So we're in talks with them at the moment to collaborate with some of their events too, so we can maybe do something together. But yeah, lots of exciting things for when we're opening. And just hopefully everybody can come and enjoy it. I can't wait.
I know, I bet you can. We ask every guest this, just finally, your sort of words to live by, if you like? It's obviously going to be a full-on couple of months coming up for you,
Yes.
but what kind of keeps you grounded and focused and motivated and relaxed? You know, what would be your words to live by, Kate?
Well, I don't know if this keeps me grounded, maybe not, but just dream large. If you don't try, you don't know you can't do it. You can't just say, oh, I can't do this. You have to try. So dream large, shoot for the stars.
And it's paid off for you. So yeah. So much the very best, and we can't wait to come and have a sample and taste of everything. I think we'll be there all weekend, just sampling out everything.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to welcome you in.
Thanks so much for chatting to us.
Yeah, no worries at all. It's lovely to meet you.